Hello guys, in this video I will be doing something different. I don't think I've ever done a video like this before, so I will be showing you soon the turntable, the speakers and all of that. What I used to listen, with my records on. So that's gonna be like the main part, but secondly, it's just gonna be a chill video. I will show you the living room and a little bit of the collection too, so let's get started. Anyway, here we are in the living room right now, and let me focus. Actually, we can go over there. We have a nice lake view. I don't know if you can see much of it because it's so overexposed. Maybe now you can see a little bit, maybe. There's like a very nice lake view over there somewhere, but it's very dark because we are now in the dark season. We only have a few hours of daylight. Anyway, there's my Monsteras, and this my books. I don't have that many books, but I'm kind of, well, with me collection, I am a collector, but it's not about the amount, it's about the quality, not the quantity. So for example, the movies, I've been collecting movies my whole life. It was mostly, well, first it was VHS. I don't really have them over here, but then it was DVDs starting from the early 2000s, and now I really only collect Blu-rays pretty much. But there's like 2 rows over there and 2 rows behind. So there's actually like 4 rows over there, and then there's some box sets over there. There's more behind. But if you want to pause it or something, you can, check out some of the movies that I have over here. I mainly put my favorites at the front. There's more behind, great ones. I don't really have like crap stuff. Well, maybe if it's like a camp, some sort of camp thing, B-movie, because I have a soft spot for those, but mostly I really dig high quality stuff, of course. And I just recently reorganized all of this, so now I have the Beach Boys Funko Pops pretty nicely displayed over here. And behind there's more movies, of course. Some of the titles are in Finnish, because they don't really do that anymore. Like, for example, here's the Coen Brothers True Grit. They used to translate those, but they don't really do that anymore. But yeah, I really love Blu-rays. I don't have any 4K Blu-rays, even though I have a 4K TV. And then when we come to the vinyl stuff, over here we have like most of the Beach Boys stuff. So I think like around, there's Dennis Wilson. Yeah, so it's like solo stuff is probably like this section, and then the rest are Beach Boys stuff. There's the box sets. And then over here we have all the rest. So there's some Finnish stuff over here, and there's like Mike Love. Mike Love didn't get to be over here, sadly. He separated for some, reasons. Leonard Cohen, Grateful Dead. And there's like just random, some Bob Dylan, Kool and the Gang, even Ryan Adams. ZZ Top, Genesis, Commodores, Peter Gabriel, Barbra Streisand with Barry Gibb, Bruce Springsteen, The Who. Sorry, it's kind of, the lighting is not very good. There's some Robert Johnson, some blues stuff, Johnny Cash, and electronica, Jean-Michel Jarre, David Lynch. And yeah, then we get to the soundtrack section. The rest are soundtracks. Mostly Ennio Morricone stuff. But yeah, I really should. I built this shelf myself a year ago. It's very heavy duty, but there's one problem. There should be like a divider over here because it's very hard to, as you can see, there's always that sort of V shape. There should be a divider in the middle. And they sometimes do, like, accidentally they go down, and then the whole thing sort of is about to fall down or something. But it's very heavy duty, you know. It's very thick, very thick. Real wood, not plywood or whatever, you know. It's real wood. And below over here we have these boxes, and they are filled with CDs. They are kind of all over the place, so let's not really dig into them too much, but yeah, all types of CDs and DVDs and stuff like that. This is where I sit or lay, and here is where the magic comes, you know, at me. And while I sit over here, I just had to put this cinnamon bun over here because I actually baked it yesterday. I did the dough and everything. I needed to show it to you so that, you know, I really need to hang on to my ego. So, you know, it just doesn't have anything to do with the video, but now you know that I can bake as well. So, here we have the TV. I think it's like, I don't know, like 55 inches or something like that. 4K TV, I bought it a few years ago. Prior to this one, I had a full-on, like, what do you call that? You know, screen, like this white screen thing, like a, and what do you call that? A projector, yeah. So I had like a huge system, but I got rid of that. It was very clunky. I have these cool lights, as you can see. They are LED, so you can change the color. Isn't that cool? And then I did these sort of little bins or whatever from old vinyl LPs that were worthless, really. Here is the latest disc that I've been listening to, Brian Wilson live at the Roxy Theatre. The old pressing, I don't have yet the new one. I have ordered it, but it hasn't arrived. And the player that I use is a Blu-ray player. Just a normal Blu-ray player, LG. Nothing fancy about that one, but it plays fabulously. DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, everything, so no problem there. There's a movie that I should watch. I haven't seen this one yet. Supposedly a classic, obviously I know it, but I haven't seen it, so can't wait to see it. And then there are actually my Bluetooth earbuds that I use every day, many hours a day, and I listen to a lot of stuff from these while I'm driving or having a walk or whatever. They are by JBL, and they are the JBL Tune something, like 100 something, I don't know. They weren't too expensive, so I like them. I have now had them for maybe 6 months, 5 months, something like that, so been very happy with those. Then do you call it an amplifier? Because in Finnish we call it an amplifier, maybe? Anyway, this black box, which then translates the sound and directs it, you know, to for the speakers. So this is a Denon equipment. I cannot now. Well, there's actually the brand or the model AVR 3313. You can include over here, if you want to use headphones, you can plug them in, and I've been very happy with this. I bought it years ago, secondhand. It was like, I believe if you had bought this from the store, it would have been like $1,000 or something like that, but I think I paid maybe 300 for it or something like that, so I've been very happy with it. And the speakers are, I have only a 2-speaker system. Sorry, let's focus again. These are, I believe it was a Swedish brand, maybe. Audio Pro. Not familiar with it, sorry. But anyway, these are pretty big. I also do have like a 5.1 system, but I don't really have space over here to plug that in. Like, you know, like real decent speakers, not those tiny ones, but kind of in the style of these. I have like good speakers and a good boombox. Boombox, not a boombox, but a subwoofer. You know, like that big box for the bass frequencies. But it didn't really fit over here to this living room, so these actually have a very good low frequency as well, so it's not really mandatory to have that subwoofer, but it would make the experience better, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, good, just regular speakers, nothing fancy about them. But I like to have big speakers because somehow just the sound that they create is much more organic and natural sounding than if you'd have those tiny speakers. And then this thing is sort of my Frankenstein invention because I needed to have the turntable nearby, because I tried once to extend the cable over here because it's just plugged very simply with the sort of the standard cable, whatever it came with, just like, I don't know, like maybe a 50 centimeter cable right into this thing over here. And yeah, so I bought this like extended thing, like a 3-meter cord, so that I could have this, like, for example, over here on like a separate table, but it just did not work. It just, the sound started to be distorted and everything, and I read that if you extend the cable it just doesn't work. So it has to be right next to the amplifier. And so yeah, so I had to build this thing so that I can have it over here. And now there's somebody doing some work, I don't know, outside. Hopefully that's not too disturbing, that weird mechanic noise that you can maybe hear in the background. I'm sorry for that. Anyway, the turntable itself is by Audio Technica, and it's the AT-LP 120 USB turntable, direct drive professional turntable. So otherwise it's the standard. The only two things that I think that I've done, well, I know that I did change this mat. It didn't come with this cork mat. I hated the one that it came with. It was this sort of plastic, you know, thing that got stuck. It was all electric all the time, so it got stuck with the vinyl LPs. Each time you'd take the LP off over here, this mat would come with it, so I changed it to this natural cork, and I've been extremely happy with this. And then there's the sound card and the needle. I think I've changed it, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think I've changed it, maybe. If I haven't, I really need to, because I've had now this turntable for, I think, 7 years, so it's really time to change the needle at least. But anyway, I've been extremely happy with this. It's sort of all-inclusive because it plays. It was very important to me that I need to have a player that plays both 33 rounds per minute and 45s, and also the 78s, because I have a few albums that require the 78 speed, so I can have all of them with this one. So that was great. And also it came with the ring. If you play, like, you know, those jukebox 45s, then you have this over here. You don't need to search for it. That's really nice. And also, of course, it has a great system for calibrating the weight of the arm, so that's great as well. It doesn't have those cool things that older turntables used to have, like, for example, the automatic function, when, you know, this needle would come over here and then it would realize that the album ended, and then it would come back over here. So it doesn't have those cool functions that, you know, older turntables from the 80s and 70s used to have a lot of times. But anyway, I can live without it as well. So yeah, I have a really simple setup, nothing too fancy. I haven't upgraded in a long while outside of the TV that I got a few years back. Otherwise, it's been the same system. I do want to get a 4K Blu-ray player at some point, even though I don't yet have any 4K discs, but someday I probably will, because I have the 4K TV now too. but I've never really felt any need in upgrading the turntable itself or the amplifier. I think they both just sound fantastic, and I think probably if I do upgrade something, I would probably think about these speakers, upgrading them, because these are quite old and you probably can get some higher quality speakers these days for good price. But otherwise I really haven't even thought about doing that either, because like I said, I have the 5.1 system already, but I just don't have space over here to use it. I would love to have the subwoofer back, but it just doesn't really work in the apartment building system, because then all the neighbors would hear the bass frequencies, and that's just not cool. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a kind of a funny little video, but I wanted to make it for my own sake, at least, if you did it. Anyway, but if some of you wanted to watch it and liked it, that's great. Thanks for watching. Hopefully see you soon again on with the next album review. Take care. Bye bye.